When approaching a mini roundabout, learners often muddle up who has priority, and sometimes either hesitate or stop completely when they really should have proceeded. This creates what I call the self-fulfilling prophecy of mini roundabouts. What happens is that the learner hesitates or stops because they were unsure of who had priority. This then leaves an opportunity for other traffic to proceed when they should have given way to you. Because that traffic takes advantage of the situation and goes, the learner then thinks that they've done the right thing in giving way. This reinforces an incorrect belief that will then reoccur time and time again at subsequent mini roundabouts. When the learner is asked why they gave way unnecessarily, sometimes it's simply that they haven't got a grasp of the way mini roundabouts work, but sometimes the response is as follows: I stopped in case the other traffic didn't. This again creates the self-fulfilling prophecy. The traffic you thought might not stop didn't stop because you did. So let's tackle it. In this video, we will recap the rules on mini roundabouts. We'll look at some examples of priorities in different directions and layouts. Then we'll switch to some video footage to show how to have the confidence to take your priority and what to do if actually the traffic you thought wasn't going to stop genuinely doesn't stop. Mini roundabouts are those white circles painted on the road. On approach, you might see a triangular warning sign. You might also see a give way sign. You should see this blue sign, which is the sign for a mini roundabout. If you think about it, there can't be any signs in the middle of the road on the white circle, as large vehicles do need to be able to travel over it. So mini roundabouts have the sign at the side of the road. Literally, the sign means you must travel clockwise. The dotted line on the road, usually a single but occasionally a double line, tells you that you must give way to traffic coming from the right. Essentially, this means give way to anyone who is about to drive across the front of your bonnet. The highway code also says that you must drive around the central markings, not straight over them. Mini roundabouts were originally placed in areas that used to be a T-junction, but which were prone to traffic jams due to high volumes of traffic on the major road. Traffic in the minor road struggled to find a gap to emerge, and it was a bit unfair. Placing a mini roundabout there instead meant that the idea of major roads and minor roads no longer existed, and everybody had a fair chance to emerge. Because they caused traffic to slow down, local councils soon discovered that they were a very cheap way to introduce traffic calming. All it would cost was a tin of paint and a few road signs, instead of the expense of building chicanes and wiggly bits in the road. There also used to be a very common type of junction called Unmarked Crossroads, at which nobody had priority. The expectation was that everybody would give way to everybody else and just be nice to each other. As traffic volumes increased, they became quite dangerous, and often vehicles failed to slow and check it was safe to proceed. Unmarked crossroad junctions still exist, but many have been altered to a four-way mini roundabout on grounds of safety. It means now that everybody has to slow down, and it's very clear who has priority and who needs to give way. The type of mini roundabout that used to be a T-junction is very easy to spot. There's one road that appears to go straight through, and one road that's stuck on the side. If you're emerging from what was the side road, imagine you're the green car in this example, then usually there's no confusion. You give way to the right, so the blue car has priority over you. You are on the white car's right, so they give way to you. Let's think about what the blue car could do. If the blue car has no signal, we would assume it's going straight on, across the front of our bonnet. So we give way and let the blue car go first. If the blue car is signalling left, we would assume it's coming into our road and therefore not driving in front of us. So although the blue car has priority over us, it doesn't actually affect us, so we could proceed to the left or right. Let's bring the white car back again. The white car is on our left, so we have priority over it. It doesn't matter if the white car is intending to go ahead or turn into our road. We have priority over it, so it should give way to us. Note how we've said should give way. We'll deal with how to manage a car failing to give way later in this video. For now, let's assume the driver will be well behaved and give way to us. This is an example of why we need to signal our intentions on approach to a mini roundabout. If we are signalling left, the white car now knows that we will not be driving across their front, and they could choose to proceed. If we're signalling right, the white car knows that we will be driving across their front, and they'll need to stop and let us go first. Let's be the green car again. There isn't a road immediately to our right, so the next road on our right is where the blue car is. So we give way to the blue car. But again, let's look at its signals to decide if it will actually affect us. Here, there's no signal, so we would assume it's going ahead into our road. That doesn't affect us, as it won't be driving across the front of us, so we could proceed. This time, the blue car is indicating that it will be crossing in front of us, so we need to let it go first. Let's bring the white car back. It's on our left, so it should give way to us. But we can help it by signalling left if we are turning left. The white car now knows that we won't be driving across its front, and it can proceed. If we're going ahead, we don't signal, and the white car knows that we will be passing in front of them. Finally, let's flip it around again. In my experience, this is the layout that causes the most confusion. Again, we are the green car. The white car is on our right. As it's signalling to turn into our road, it will not be driving across the front of us, so it won't affect us, and we could proceed. If the white car is signalling right, then it will be passing in front of us, so we do need to let the white car go first. Now let's consider the blue car. Think about this. Although it looks like an oncoming vehicle, the blue car is actually on our left. The road to our right is empty, so we do have priority over the blue car. But bear in mind, if we take the correct path around the white circle, it will take a little bit more time for us to reach the blue car. If we are signalling to turn right, the blue car might have time to go before we drive in front of it. So don't be surprised if the blue car appears to steal your priority. If it was a T-junction like this, then you would need to give way to the blue car, and this is what causes the confusion. But as it's a mini roundabout, the priorities are changed. Now we did say earlier we'd discuss what to do if you had priority, but it gets stolen. And we'll do that by using some real video footage. So at this roundabout, we will be turning right, and it's the second exit. So the road that I am giving way to is this one on the right. It's not the road that's straight ahead of me, so the lorry will give way to me. We sometimes have to have the confidence to take our priority. Now let's look at that same roundabout a second time. We're going to turn right, second exit. We giving way to traffic emerging from the road on our right, but we're going to be looking at the speed of the traffic coming towards us. If it looks like they're going to fail to give way, certainly we'll stop, but we've got to take our priority if we have it. Because we're travelling around mini roundabouts very slowly, we're certainly not doing more than about 10 miles an hour. If we enter onto the mini roundabout and a vehicle that should give way to us fails to give way, we can still stop safely in the distance before we reach that vehicle. In this video clip, we take our priority, but the oncoming vehicle fails to give way at the mini roundabout. We could tell from its approach speed that there was going to be a problem, especially as the road is wet and braking takes longer. But because we're travelling quite slowly around a mini roundabout, we are able to stop safely before it's too late. This video is not a mini roundabout, but it shows the same principle. We take our priority, but judge the speed of the oncoming car and are able to stop safely. Well, as always, I hope this has been useful to you. Give it a thumbs up and hit subscribe to see more of my videos.